on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON, midweek Wednesday, December 16th. We are on iHeartRadio. All you need to do is download the app to your smartphone or tablet and take us with you wherever you are, wherever you're going. You can also go to WVON.com, and you can call us at 773-591-1690. You may want to do that because this gentleman just gives some great information. Mr. Sheldon T. Caesar, Dr. Caesar, and we're pleased to have him back. How are you, Doc?
I'm doing fantastic. How
Good,
are you?
good. You're looking well. Pull that up a little. Yeah, I want to make sure everybody hears you.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay,
That's
great.
good. Listen, this is a time of year, not that we all don't have pressures on us all year, 365, but this time of year is known, Doctor, to have people have depression and so forth, where you would think it might be the other way, but that's because of memories and things and people that aren't around anymore.
Yes.
That's true, isn't it?
Yes, it's absolutely true.
That's right. And so, there's certain things that I know you like to use, the words that people should understand. Just let's start off with those.
Yes. I wanted to repeat a few affirmations.
Yes, the affirmations.
Yeah, the affirmations. What I have people do is just repeat a few phrases, a few words. I want everyone to say, stress-free, worry-free, unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, fearless, peace and serenity, all is well, confidence and self-esteem. So when I repeat these words, Cliff, the conscious mind hears those phrases. They heard the peace and serenity, they heard stress-free, they heard worry-free. But the subconscious mind, which is the big brain of the body, it heard a lot more information. It heard a lot of information, had 2,000 or 3,000 informations behind those words. And the information it heard was to have the individual eliminate their stresses, their negative thoughts, their negative emotions, and negative feelings. It essentially just washes it away. So anyone who's repeated those phrases, within 30 seconds to a minute usually, all of the negative thoughts, emotions, feelings go away. They can think of the worst thing that ever happened to them and it never bothers them. That's not just a momentary thing. It's one of those things that certain things they just don't react to in a negative way anymore. Their outlook on life is more positive. They feel more positive. They're not even bothered by their negative coworkers who didn't repeat the phrases.
That's great.
It's fantastic.
Repeat them again.
The first one I want you to repeat again. Stress-free.
Stress-free.
Worry-free.
Worry-free.
Unconditional forgiveness. Unconditional love. Fearless. Peace and serenity. All is well. Confidence and self-esteem.
And so these affirmations are actually effective. You know that.
They're extremely effective.
Yeah.
I've been doing them over the past 10 to 11 years. I have patients come in and they're stressed out, they're depressed. They can be, even some patients can be even suicidal. And I usually just repeat the affirmations over and over again with them. And what it does is it goes into the subconscious mind, it just changes things. And it's not one of those things, like I said, it's not a momentary change. People essentially transform.
That's great. Now, what motivated you, Doctor, to start using affirmations? And also, you've written a book on it.
Yes, I wrote a book on affirmations.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, it's a great book. I like the book. I'm liking it more and more, especially when I get positive feedback from the patients. They tell me how much the book has changed their lives.
That's great.
So, and I was doing affirmations. I went to a conference and they was talking about doing affirmations, and so I started doing affirmations with myself, just trying to change the way I felt, change my thought process. Whether or not we like to admit it, we've always all been programmed and conditioned a certain way, almost from the beginning of our lives. We've been programmed by our parents, we're programmed by television, we're programmed by school. And unfortunately, a lot of this is negative programming. And so, in order to change that, you're going to essentially have to recondition yourself, reprogram yourself. And so I was doing affirmations. I did affirmations with my patients. I did affirmations with my children. Speaking of the children in general, I have two daughters, one 18 and one 21. One of 21 is in Northwestern, the other one's at Kenwood High School. And over the past 10 years with them, before they went to bed, 10 minutes before they went to bed for 10 years, we sat down, I had them close their eyes, and I just had them repeat positive affirmations. They're telling themselves that they feel good about themselves, they feel good about their lives, they're proud of themselves, that they're good students, they're going to do their homework. And they did that over and over and over again. They turned out extremely well. But I've been doing the affirmations. Then I had one of the friends of mine was talking about affirmations. He told me, well, you're the world expert on affirmations. Why don't you write a book? I didn't have no idea. I didn't consider myself the world expert on affirmations. And I didn't have any intentions of writing the books. But luckily I kept my notes. And I put my notes together and I wrote both the affirmations down in the book. And I self-published it. And it's doing quite well.
That's great. How can people get that, Dr. Caesar?
They can either get it on Amazon. You can get it as a Kindle. Or you can get it at my health food store, KMT Health Food Store.
Right.
It's here in Chicago. The telephone number is 773-224-7500.
And you're located at 231 East 75th Street.
Yes.
And that's important to know. And the health food store is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of what you take into your body, what is structured water?
Well, water has a structure. Water has structure. Water has energy. Fascinating thing about water is also has a memory. They say a hexagonal structure of the waters is more optimal in terms of hydrating the body. What I would do myself is I have an ability, like I said, water has a perfect memory. So I essentially can imprint positive information into the water. I essentially imprint my affirmations into the water. The water essentially accepts the affirmations, and when someone drinks the water, they drink the water, the subconscious mind, which has an infinite ability to absorb information and decipher information, the subconscious mind deciphers the information in the water and acts on it accordingly.
How do you get the affirmations into the structured water, Doc?
It's an interesting concept. Is some people would say, they ask me, do I pray over the water? No, I don't pray over the water. Right now, I can just, I can talk, I can think, and it just happens. It's one of those things where in terms of people would say it's hard to believe, but the subconscious mind, the mind in general, has infinite possibilities. And if you believe that all things are possible, then all things are possible. If you don't believe in it, then you don't believe it. But I tell people, this is not a belief system. It's one of those things where you try the water, either it's going to work for you or it won't. So that's how come I have in KMT Health Food Store, I have the water where they can sample it. Someone comes in stress, even if they're in pain, they drink the water, the stress goes away, and the pain goes away 95% of the time.
So you've gotten good feedback on
I get fantastic. I've been sampling out the waters by maybe thousands, 2,000 or 3,000 people have tried the waters.
Wow.
So yes, I've had tremendous feedback from
Now,
the
this is not H2O. This is something.
This is H2O.
It is just okay.
H2O, no chemicals whatsoever.
Really?
Really.
Well, that's great. That is great. So we hear this all the time about holistic medicine. How does that differ from, say, conventional medicine?
Well, unfortunately, holistic medicine, which is called non-traditional, should be called traditional medicine because that's what we've been doing for eons. For thousands of years, we've been focusing on not only the physical aspect of the patient, but we've been focusing on the mind, the body, and the physical aspect. So we want to take the patient, we want to go look at their physical, emotional, the mental, and their spiritual aspect and try to essentially balance those. With a conventional approach, you're treating symptoms, you're treating numbers. You have diabetes, your blood sugar is high, we're going to lower your blood sugar. Your blood pressure is high, we're going to lower your blood pressure. If you have a headache, we're going to give you a pain medication to essentially dull the pain, hopefully get rid of the pain. Not addressing the root cause of the problems. So from a holistic perspective, you want to address the root cause of the problem, and you want to target the mind, the body, the spirit, the physical, all of those things together.
So is there a distinction, Dr. Caesar, relative to just what we don't call holistic medicine, what just people go to the doctor?
They go to.
Is there a distinction? Is there a difference? I think there is.
There's a difference. That's the difference. In terms of the conventional is going to focus on the physical problems, focus on symptoms, focusing on diagnoses, but not getting to the root cause of the problem and trying to solve the root cause of the problem and not trying to heal the patient. Mm-hmm. When patients come to me, when you want to go to the doctor, you want to heal.
Holistic is healing.
Healing.
And the other conventional maybe just a bunch of drugs?
You get a bunch of drugs, unfortunately, with a bunch of drugs, a bunch of toxic side effects.
Like, gotta hear a lot of complaints about statins.
A lot of statins and drugs, their purpose is to lower a person's cholesterol, but they have side effects. And one of the major side effects I talk to my patients, especially the elder patient, is it causes memory loss. And
Statins cause?
Statin cause memory loss.
Wow. Okay.
And the last thing you want to do is give a drug to a person in the 60s and 70s to affect their memory.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. This is really something. So you would advise anybody? Well, you've already said that. I don't need to ask you then. That's for sure. You know, it sounds to me, and of course there are a lot of people making a lot of money selling drugs. And I'm talking about legitimate drugs.
Prescription drugs.
Yeah,
Yes.
prescription drugs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's got to be working, Dr. Caesar, because you can't turn on the TV without seeing all kinds of things. And then the interesting thing about it, as you well know, it tells you what it's going to do for you. But then, twice as long as that is what may happen to you if you take it.
Yes. The side effects.
The side effects, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The side effects are, unfortunately, and truth of the matter is, Cliff, most of the doctors, all the doctors I know, would love to prescribe medication without side effects. Mm-hmm. But this is what we're given by the pharmaceutical companies. Mm-hmm. And I'm of the mindset the pharmaceutical companies are going to have to do a little bit better in giving doctors medication that the patients essentially trust the physician. They come to us, they have confidence in us, they trust us, and they expect us to do well by them. But unfortunately, the medication that we get, they do have a lot of toxic side effects. And then the question is whether or not you continue using this medication with its toxic side effects, or do you look for an alternative? We can take the example for chemotherapy. We do know that chemotherapy helps patients with cancer, but it also depresses the immune system. It essentially kills good cells and it kills bad cells. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then most patients, a lot of doctors, including myself, really wouldn't want to take chemotherapy because of the toxic side effects associated with it. But from a conventional point of view, it's like this is the only thing out there and nothing else better. But we do know that there are some things out there that can be just as good, just as effective as chemotherapy. In terms of, when I say just as effective, it's going to be in terms of lifestyle changing the lifestyle, in terms of what foods, what toxins that you allow yourself to put into the body, and also cleansing the body of these toxins. The immune system has the ability to essentially heal itself. But in order for it to heal itself, it has certain things are required. You have to remove the toxins, you have to put nutrients into the body. If you don't remove the toxins, you don't put nutrients in the body, then the immune system is going to have an extremely hard time healing itself of anything, even a cold, let alone the cancer.
That means a lot. We are talking, of course, someone wanted me to mention, which I will, Dr. Sheldon T. Caesar, and his office is at 231 East 75th Street. That's the address. But I'll give you the phone number too, 773-846-1200, 773-846-1200. And the health food store is 773-224-7500. That's next door, right?
Yes,
Yes.
It's in the same building.
Same building, right.
Yes.
I know the building, right, absolutely. Yes. Let's take a call, 591-1690. Lurlene's calling. Hi, you're on the Talk of Chicago. Lurlene, are you there? Hello? Hi. I guess we lost her. Call back. Oh, no, you are. Yeah, there you are. Go right ahead.
Yes. No, I just want to say that I am one of Dr. Caesar's patients, and I've been seeing him for several months now, and I am very happy with the services that he provides and the treatments and analysis that he does, and his non-traditional way of helping you to determine what your ailments are.
Yeah, well, I'm just so happy to know that, because what he says makes a whole lot of sense. And when you hear about all of these pharmaceuticals that people want to charge you, which are 10 times more than they would be if you go to Canada or whatever, it's obvious that a lot of people are making a lot of money.
Right, and I don't have to worry and be concerned about, the side effects of traditional medications that do not, that may work on one of your symptoms but create so many other problems during that process. So I just wanted to call in and say that.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate your call.
Yeah, okay.